Welcome to the Rebound with Coach Matt Doherty.
What if the two most important minutes of your day happen before your email and your coffee? Today, I'm going to show you how a simple timeout can reset your mind, fuel your confidence, and keep you measuring your life the right way, in the gain and not the gap. And that's a reference to Dan Sullivan's book, The Gain and the Gap. I'll walk you through a page from my new timeout journal and hopefully give you inspiration to use this tool on a daily basis. By the end of this episode, you'll have a reflection rhythm, a bulletproof affirmation formula, and a practical way to live in the gain so you finish more days winning. Why a timeout? See, in sports, timeouts aren't a luxury, they're strategy. You pause, you see the floor, you call the play. Leaders and families need the same thing. Reflection is how you stop reacting and start directing. It slows the game down. It turns noise into signal. It converts experiences into wisdom. Here's the big idea. Momentum follows meaning. When you reflect, you assign meaning to what just happened. That meaning shapes confidence, and confidence shapes your next action. Here are 3 quick truths about reflection. Truth number 1, what you don't review, you'll repeat. Okay. Truth number 2, progress hides in plain sight until you write it down. And truth number 3, your energy tomorrow is created by what you decide to remember about today. The Timeout Journal creates a 2-minute huddle each morning and evening so you can see the floor of your life and run the right play. Dan Sullivan's book, The Gap and the Gain, really made an impact on me. It really brought why you should journal to the surface. Here's a short version. The gap is what you feel when you measure yourself against an ideal, another person, a moving horizon you never will reach. Living in the gap, and you'll always feel behind. The gain is what you create when you measure backwards against who you were yesterday. You live in the gain and you see progress, momentum, and gratitude. Let me tell you a quick story. I went to play golf with Michael Jordan about 3 years ago, 2022. Yeah, I just turned 60, and I go to greet him on the first tee, and he gives me a hug. He says, asked me how I was doing. I said, well, I'm struggling. I just turned 60. And I said, my dad died at 81. And I just feel like I have 20 short years left. And his response was awesome. He said, we've had a great life. First of all, he included me in the we. We've had a great life. And he was living in the gain. And it forced me to live in the gain and look backwards. And it changed my outlook. And that's why it's important to be around good people, people that uplift you. And now, how can you uplift yourself? Okay. And that's by living with the gains in mind, where you've come from, not what you're chasing. Because what you're chasing, you may never be able to accomplish. And I think about my career as a basketball player and a basketball coach. Growing up, I had several dreams. I wanted to play at Holy Trinity High School on the varsity. Then I wanted to play as a freshman on the varsity. I wanted to be an All-American. I wanted to get a scholarship. Then I wanted to get a scholarship and win a national championship. And then I wanted to play in the NBA. And I accomplished all those things but one. I didn't make the NBA. And I constantly think about that. But when I reflect and say, you know what, you've had a pretty good run, it changes your whole outlook. It changes your spirit. And that can be contagious. That can impact your life. See, the Timeout Journal is a backward-looking scorecard first. It asks, what moved forward? What did I learn? And what will I do with it? When you start your day remembering gains, you begin confident. When you end your day naming gains, you sleep content. So a couple of things you can say to yourself here. Am I measuring backwards today? Is my identity built on progress, not perfection? Do I celebrate small wins because they can compound into big ones? Two practices from the book, The Gap and the Gain, that were embedded in the journal just by chance is 3 wins. Start by recalling 3 wins from the last 24 hours. So at the end of the day, what were your highlights? What were your wins? What did you achieve? Did you accomplish your big 3? And then number 2, plan backwards, asking what will make today a gain by bedtime? Then pick 3. What are the 3 goals? And they've got to be SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. Don't set these ridiculous goals that you may not be able to achieve. Small goals build momentum. Let's talk about affirmations. Affirmations can be a little bit goofy at times. It gets a bad name when they're vague. Some people say, I'm successful. Well, based on what? Great affirmations are specific, evidence-based, and identify forward. A couple of keys to a good affirmation is identify who you want to become. Discuss the behavior that you want to achieve when it's hard, and give a reason your brain can agree with. I'll give you a couple examples of affirmations. I am a calm competitor who responds, not reacts, when things get hard. I am a builder of people who has hard conversations early because clarity is kindness. That's a good one. I am a disciplined finisher who gets my work done by noon because momentum beats perfection. And then you can add some if-then affirmations. Okay, what do I mean by that? It's the ones when you get triggered. Like, if I feel overwhelmed by 3 o'clock, then I'll take a 2-minute timeout to list one gain, one next action. Or another one like this: if I start comparing to others, which I do all the time, then I'll measure backwards and write 3 ways I improved this week. See, comparison games are the work of the devil. Affirmations aren't magic. They're just mental reps. They're rehearsing the play you intend to run under pressure. Let's journal together. And if you don't have the timeout journal yet, let's guide you through just line by line. Okay. The morning page, it starts out with a quote. And I think that quotes are powerful. The one I'm looking at right now is: the most important thing about your life isn't the year you were born or the year you died. It's what you did in the dash, by Steve Wilson's dad. Never met this guy, but he was introduced to me by Scott Stankavich. So the morning timeout, just 2 minutes. I'm grateful for the following things in my life: my kids, my wife, my house, my health, the opportunities before me. Then the second section: I will accomplish the big 3 today. I'm going to do 25 push-ups, 25 sit-ups. I'm going to walk for 30 minutes. I am going to reach out to an old friend I haven't talked to in a long time. Then I have another section: this liberating belief will empower me today. So that's the affirmation. This liberating belief. Because we have limiting beliefs and liberating beliefs. A liberating belief: I will accomplish this today. I will confront poor behavior. I will have a crucial conversation with this person today. And then in the evening, what were the highlights? Mine for those highlights, something that put a smile on your face. And then what were the lessons learned? See, when you end your day with the lessons learned, it forces you to live curiously during the day, to have your eyes open. It's like the point guard looking down the court. You've got to see the floor. You want to see the good things that are happening. And that's just a great way to live. And then lastly, did you accomplish your big 3 today? And if not, why? And so hopefully that helps you live in the game, but also understand why you didn't achieve what you wanted to. And it gives you a good preparation for the next day. So here's your 7-day timeout journal challenge. Starting a new habit takes a commitment. Journaling is no different. But the benefits of reflection and journaling have really impacted my life, and I know it'll impact yours. So, how can you develop this new habit? I'm going to ask you to do it for 7 days. Write down your commitment. In the journal, you'll see this page, the challenge page, and it will say something like this. I, Matt Doherty, commit to writing down this journal every day for 7 days. Journaling is important to me because I want to feed myself with positive thoughts to help me become the best version of myself. When I finish writing in the timeout journal for 7 consecutive days, I will celebrate by taking my wife out for a nice dinner. If I don't complete 7 days in a row of writing in a timeout journal, I will donate $100 to my favorite charity, which is the Charlotte Rescue Mission. So what's your 7-day challenge? Once you start and you create this momentum, it's going to be hard to stop and it's going to impact your life. If you do this for a week, email me your biggest gain to matt@dohertycoaching.com and I'll pick a few to read on the show. Don't let the horizon steal your joy. Measure backward. Live in the game, take your daily time out, and win the day. I'm Matt Doherty. See you next time on The Rebound. Leadership is a learned behavior. We all lead in some way, shape, or form. We all deal with adversity. And when you do, I challenge you to rebound. I challenge you to learn and grow. If you'd like to contact me about executive coaching, workshops, or giving a keynote talk, you can reach me at dohertycoaching.com. That's DOHERTY coaching.com. Thanks for tuning in. OMJ Clothing is an elite men's clothing store that provides a vast array of spectacular brands of men's lifestyle apparel for every day. Elevate your business upscale casual at OMJ. Success comes from standing out.